Highest mouth read Michelle Birdsong in New York City, daughter of the sun, Eve, mother of all living. This is an explanation for the black rioters. They barely speak the English language, nor any other. They do not read books, therefore they have a limited vocabulary. Therefore they do not have access to words to form logical thoughts. Booker T. Washington, now being as Lionel Richie, who developed a skill in the field of music, was correct when, as Booker T. Washington, he said, the first step for the newly emancipated slave was to learn a useful trade. The black rioters do not know how to do anything worthwhile, worth money. With money, they could buy the items they are stealing, called looting. The energy a human has must go somewhere. Either it'll be put to productive use, or it will build up and explode. Destructiveness will follow. Without the ability to think critically, a person is like an animal in human form, a brute who is brutal. Brute, noun, means a savagely violent person or animal. He was a cold-blooded brute. Similar words to brute, savage, and beast. Second meaning of brute, an animal or as opposed to a human being. We, unlike dumb brutes, can reflect upon our impulses. Similar word to brute, animal, beast. Adjective. It's characterized by an absence of reasoning. Reasoning decoded. H-E-R, her, Eve, mother of all living. A as, O for order, N for enter, I for pleasure. Her, Eve, mother of all living, as order, enter pleasure in good God. Okay, so the brute is characterized by an absence of reasoning or intelligence. A brute struggle for social superiority is an example sentence. If it's more animal than human, you can call it brute, like the brute power of an invading army. Vocabulary.com. Synonyms of brute: animal, animate, being, beast, brute, creature, fauna, adjective, a living organism characterized by voluntary movement. The opposite of brute is humane. Humane definition: having or showing compassion or benevolence. Regulations ensuring the humane treatment of animals. Similar word to humane: compassionate, kind. Second definition of humane, formal definition, of a branch of learning intended to have a civilizing or refining effect on people. Example sentence: the center emphasizes economics as a humane discipline. What is the meaning of being humane? A human person is one who shows great compassion and caring for others, including animals, and who tries, whenever possible, to alleviate another's suffering. While the word is derived from the word human, the sad fact is that a person can be in a human body without being human or humane. A person can be loved and taught to think critically, logically. and or to follow the laws of God, and or develop a strong work ethic, and or to learn a skill, and or to become self-aware with talk and share therapy, or to eventually explode and riot. Riot decoded. R for her, I for pleasure, O for order, T for training. Riot, her pleasure, order, training. Okay. The gentle, strong man who helped cultivate me, Brother Wright, had a third-grade education. At one point in his life, he had a drinking problem, but after a time of suffering, the misery of chaos in the mind caused by alcohol, he started to listen to the teachings of God and his Son, Jesus Christ. And eventually, he and his wife, Adoni, became passionately intense about God and Jesus Christ. They were righteous Christians, not hypocrites. Brother Wright had a job, a menial labor job, unskilled labor. I was shocked when I went to his company, Boyle and Harrison, in Clarksville, Tennessee, and I saw Bright. That's the way the words Brother Wright can come together, sound like Bright. I was around 10 years old when I saw Bright lifting large boxes off a truck, unloading a truck. Years later, I explained what I thought about Brother Wright in a song. I said, I thought he was an executive. He had such dignity. Our backyard looked like the Garden of Eden. Bright mowed the grass, planted flowers, had a green thumb, and he worked at it for hours. Brother Wright, so dignified, he liked to do right. 5'5" with chocolate skin. A beautiful soul, couldn't have been a better Father Rowe. Brother Wright, my other father, like solid gold. One year, Brother Wright, a senior, walked all the way to work and saved the money he would have paid for the bus. Then he walked all the way back home from work and put that bus fare aside for us. He gave Adoni the treasure, a year's worth of double walking, to give to Sister and me for Christmas pleasure. We gratefully cashed the checks and bought Christmas presents for the family members we loved best. Brother Wright, so dignified, he loved to do right. 5'5" with chocolate skin, a sweeter man stronger than any sin. He loved God, and with his pure heart, I know Bright has seen the face of God. What a great start he and his wife gave me for life. They gave thanks before each meal, took me to church 2 to 3 times a week. Even at home, God was a big deal. Bright prayed 2 hours a night before sleep. Adoni read the Bible to Bright regularly. She had me memorize each book, though for a while the habit left me. Reading the Bible once again, I'm hooked. 5'5" with chocolate skin, a sweeter, stronger man there hasn't been. Brother Wright rose above sin. No blood relation, he treated me better than a kin, like a best friend. When it was time for me to drink castor oil as a child, I started crying. Brother Wright squeezed fresh orange juice into the medicine. Perfectly blended, I tasted and drank it with confidence. When it was time for Mama to comb the tangles out of my hair, I cried, wanting to hide somewhere. Brother Wright asked me if I wanted him to brush my hair. I said yes, without hesitating. Brother Wright took his time. He did not hurt me. I'm not exaggerating. Brother Wright did everything right. Everything worse he made better. Brother Wright brought apples and oranges home from Boyle and Harrison. He taught me how to cut the brown spots out. I still love fruit. Constipation, I have none. Healthy Other Father is what the song's all about. When the union wanted to come to Boyle and Harrison, they had to take the company to court. Brother Wright wouldn't swear on the Bible. He had too much respect. The judge respected Brother Wright and let him testify anyhow. The company had told Wright to lie about his working conditions. But Wright didn't swear and he didn't lie. The union won, but the company wasn't done. They cut Wright's hours, so he was bringing home only $10 a week. Wright and Andoni said it was the Lord's will. They didn't speak ill of anyone. They remained happy, humble, and meek. I told you they weren't hypocrites. They turned the other cheek. You say, where is Brother Wright and Andoni today? Andoni's being as my daughter, Robin Michelle Birdsong. She has a master's degree in psychology. She's a disciple of the living Christ, Gurinder Singh Dhillon. Andoni and Brother Wright have traveled all over the world as Sing Birdsong and Robin Michelle Birdsong. Brother Wright is my son, Sing Birdsong. He is a singer, songwriter, musician. Andoni and Brother Wright are and have been vegetarians most all their life. They've recently been informed by their mother that their fathers are worth millions of dollars. All's well that ends well, and we know that all things work together for good to them that love God, to them who are the called according to his purpose. King James Version of the Bible, Romans 8:28. Robin Michelle Birdsong has being as King James. Sing Birdsong has being as the fifth Sikh Guru, who was the first Sikh Guru martyr. He was killed for refusing to abandon his faith, Sikhism, and convert to Islam. Aunt Doni, Robin Michelle Birdsong, has being as Saint Kabir's master and as the Guru lost in Radhaswami history. Bright Singh Birdsong has being as the saint, the Guru Sardar Bahadur Jagat Singh Ji. Let's see. I might be able to find. No, where is the picture? I had a picture of Singh. Here it is. Okay, this is a picture of Brother Wright now being a Sing Birdsong. And here he is singing and playing guitar. And this is a picture of Andoni now being as Robin Michelle Birdsong, my daughter. Okay, so that's all I have to tell you. And like I said, the rioters don't read books, so I just pulled out a few of the books I'm reading to show them to you, to encourage you to read books and to have your children develop a habit of reading books. This is a biology of belief by Dr. Bruce H. Lipton, PhD. It's about the new biology. Another new biology book, Human by Design, by Greg Braden. This is the Legacy of Love. I call it the current pictorial Bible. It's the pictures of the current forms of Jesus Christ. The Green Wizard's Guide is about gardening. Life After Google by George Gilder. George Gilder is the man who was responsible for the Reagan prosperity years, and he's predicting how things are going to be. This is a young man who lives here at St. Francis of Assisi Residence 3, Michael Tesfaye, and his book is called Intersection Awakening. I just finished it. It's a good read. I read it in one night. I couldn't put it down. Okay, so there you are. Thank you for listening, and I hope the information helped you to understand the rioters, and maybe we can get them some help so they can learn to think critically, or do talk and share therapy, or develop a love for God and His laws. Something besides exploding and destroying everything. Okay, so I didn't want to end. I wanted to end on an up note. So there's always hope. So long.